Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up to date, we've got an Amazon FBA business for sale in the home and kitchen niche. Created in October 2015, this business makes $4,049 per month in net profit, and the listing number for this business is 40894. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic monetization. Thanks for coming on, Jeanette.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, before we dive into the questions here, just to give everyone kind of a bird's eye view of the business, a quick summary of it, like I mentioned, built in October 2015, has a monthly revenue of $12,063, with expenses sitting at $8,014 for that net profit of $4,049. Now, that is over a 6-month average, and included in the sale is the domain transfer, hosting, social media, and the Amazon account transfer as well. With that said, Jeanette, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses? Is this kind of your first one, or is it just one of many?
No, this was my first one, and I started it because, I'd heard that there was a lot of money to be made on Amazon. I started it with a couple of products and, have grown it to what it is today.
That's awesome that this is your kind of first success, because obviously it's making a pretty healthy stream of revenue for you. When you came up with the idea for these products, was it like something you did some competitor research where you found there was a market gap you can fill, or was it just more of like a passion product for you?
Yeah, for me, it was the initial products were just products that I really liked. So I was just really looking at this as, let me just dabble into it. And then, I got the first products listed, and I found it, pretty easy to get up to, first page rankings and then the number one spot. And so then I have, since those couple of products that I liked, I have learned that, there's more to it than that. So it's not products that I like. It's also, what the market demand is for them, obviously, and, what are competitors doing? How can I differentiate my product? So I have tested other products throughout the last, year and a half. And right now I am selling the ones that have, worked the best. And I have other products that, should be tested that are, in the back burner to be tested.
That's great. It's awesome that your passion product first just worked for you without having to know all the others. It's funny how that works sometimes. Sometimes knowing less is almost a good thing in some sense.
Right. Right.
No analysis by paralysis, at least. So for someone that is brand new to Amazon FBA businesses and maybe even new to online businesses in general, could you just briefly describe in a couple sentences of how your business is making money?
I'm not sure I know what you mean. How do you mean?
Explain the Amazon FBA monetization strategy. So for someone that's brand new to it, who's maybe never heard of the words Amazon FBA.
Okay, well, so I do have a background in online marketing, although Amazon FBA was new to me a year and a half ago, obviously. And, some things I've been able to use my knowledge of internet marketing in terms of, researching the keywords, making sure the keywords are in the content, writing content to make sure that it's hitting the buttons for prospective buyers, to doing, in fact, it's interesting, I actually do a very limited amount of PPC advertising, just because in some of my products I have, top rankings anyway. So I've not done a lot in that vein. And I also have a website where I'm not particularly doing anything with either. And I have a subscriber list of about 200 emails of prospective buyers in this particular niche, which is a very popular niche, which I've not done anything particular with either. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but and in fact, I'll answer this now, is that one of the reasons why I am potentially looking to sell this business is because I've realized in growing businesses, and in particular this one, that I am the biggest bottleneck to growing it even further. I do not have the time to invest in it because there are lots of opportunities in terms of, I could be in Amazon Canada, UK, I could be, using my website, I could could be doing a lot more, things like advertising, using these 200 emails, and I'm not. So in a way, I'm the bottleneck to expanding the business. I am not sure, Greg, if I have answered that question or not. Tell me.
It sounds like, if I'm not mistaken, that you have quite a few different channels, such as email lists as well as your website. But it sounds like the main channel you're selling from is Amazon FBA. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so that, in a roundabout way, does answer my question. For the listeners out there who don't understand what we were just talking about, Amazon FBA, you basically source the product, you put it up on Amazon, and whenever someone clicks on your product on Amazon to buy it, Amazon will ship it, i.e. fulfill it for you and send it to that customer's house. So they take care of that whole issue. And as you just pointedly put, Amazon can send you so much traffic as often as very rare that we find that these businesses have other places that they're selling in. So there's always a big opportunity for people who do understand e-commerce to expand it beyond the Amazon platform. But Amazon does drive quite a monstrous amount of traffic. So you mentioned why you're selling the business, which I think that was a really good point. That a lot of buyers or a lot of sellers, we tell them the good time to sell is when you do reach kind of that bandwidth limit, that there's nothing wrong with the business. It's just you can't keep going at it while focusing on your other projects. You have too much stuff you're juggling, right? So what's the plan after the sell? Do you have any ideas for the money?
Well, thank you, Greg. One of the reasons for selling it is so that because I am juggling too many things, and as I was saying, I'm the bottleneck to growing. So what I want to do is really focus down on one thing rather than trying to juggle four things. So that's what I'm looking to do right now, which is to sell this business and concentrate on something else that I do. So what am I going to do with the money?
Come out to Asia.
Yeah, that's right. I'm visit you, Greg.
That's awesome. No real plans yet, but I'm sure you'll find good usage for the money.
Probably reinvest it. I haven't, until I sell it, I will get a lot clearer then.
Awesome. I'll definitely try to make sure that happens for you. Is there anything, or actually, so when you first started this business, it was your first business, and as you mentioned, you kind of didn't know all the machinery that goes into this business at the time. When you got the products sourced and actually on Amazon Live, did you find that customers just kind of started rolling in right away, or did it take a while for you to build up that customer brand and rise up in the organic listings on Amazon?
Well, unbeknown to me, what I did is I launched in November of 2015. So November and December are the best months on Amazon. I, hadn't really thought about it. And so I rolled into amazing sales, like straight off the bat. That was not through planning. It was just how it was. Yeah.
It must have felt a little bit magical when you started seeing all the sales just rolling in.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's great. It's really cool. I love that experience. One of my first experiences ever with internet marketing was affiliate marketing. I wrote this article back when bum marketing worked, where you post out easy articles. I got an email saying like, do a money dance. You just made some money. Made like $500 while I was sleeping. Like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you learned from this business? Like one thing that was like, wow, I wish I was doing that sooner, that you might apply to your future projects and businesses? Just like one thing that worked really well for you?
For me, there's kind of so many aspects to it. I think, choosing the right products. Certainly my original products are still selling very well. As I say, I've tested other products and some of them have worked very well and some of them haven't. What I've always done is expand cautiously. So I've never gone out and bought 2,000 products without, testing the market first. So that has enabled me to grow steadily rather than, super fast with the wrong product, for example. So it's grown steadily. There's been learning all along the way, obviously, of, getting those higher page rankings. And yeah, it's just been an ongoing learning experience, I think.
So you actually have some kind of methodology or maybe SOP, like a standard operating procedure of how much product to order when testing a new product. Is that kind of how you do it? You order just enough of a batch to test the waters with?
Yeah, I would normally start off with 20 of a product and I will test that to see how quickly that sells. And I will do that either with a couple of reviews or even without reviews, because I think that if I can sell a product quickly that it hasn't even got any reviews, then there's a really a market demand for it.
20 products, huh? That's interesting. Quite a few, or quite a little amount.
Exactly. So it's very little. I've always, as I say, expanded very cautiously.
No, I like it. I think that's cool. Yeah, you're the first person I've heard that does it that way.
Right. Oh, really? I'm surprised.
I mean, unless they're just not telling me that they do that. But
Yeah. I think there's too many stories of people out there who have failed at Amazon FBA and who have, got themselves into a huge amount of debt. And, that was just not something I wanted to do with the wrong product. And it is super easy to get the wrong product, to think, for example, to go back to how I started, I was lucky that the product I liked has done very well. But, it's super easy to choose the wrong product, that's for sure.
Absolutely correct. My sister, her closet's full of yoga pants of the wrong product. So I definitely understand what you mean. Is there anything on the flip side that you did with this business that you kind of wish you hadn't done, like something that just didn't work for you?
Well, obviously, I've tested products, as I've said, that have not worked. I think that would be the main one. It's just I liken it to, you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince. So I think that would be the main thing, I think.
When it comes to your traffic, you mentioned you do a little bit of Amazon PPC. Are you mainly just focused on Amazon organic traffic, or
yes.
Okay, so your breakdown is pretty much all organic, or?
Yes, pretty much. I'm doing a small amount of advertising right now. And typically I am, writing up the listing. And then if I'm launching a new product, I will use PPC. But then after that, if sales are going well, depending on the product and depending on how competitive the niche is, then, typically I'm doing any PPC, which again, I'm sure is a missed opportunity.
That's cool that you focus mainly on organic traffic. It's definitely an opportunity for someone out there that is a Amazon PPC kind of guy. When it comes down to the breakdown on your earning types here, how many products do you actually have on your storefront?
Gosh, I don't know. Sorry, I know that doesn't sound correct. It's about actively now, I think there's about 10, 15 SKUs.
10 to 15 SKUs. Do you find that they all earn more or less equal, or there's a few that are just like big home runs for you?
Yeah, absolutely. There's, you've got the top 5 and then you've got, lesser ones, but which still have potential just to be done a little bit more with. I have weeded out ones where, as I say, I tested a product and it just the sales have been too slow. So I've been, doing that systematically over the last year and a half.
And with that said, also, are they all underneath the same brand, or are they kind of all in different niches?
No, they're all under the same brand. Yeah.
Excellent. Is there any seasonality at all in your niche?
Well, there is in terms of, although the products, are relevant for, year-round use, for sure in October, November, December, really actually coming up to Thanksgiving is a good time for us. And obviously December, the gift month. So October through December, definitely really, really good.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. I mean, and having said that, because obviously I'm now doing more products, sales this year for the first, where are we now? We're April. Certainly sales from the first 3 months of this year, 2017, have doubled what we did in the first 3 months from 2016.
What markets are you in currently? What market are you selling in?
So it's the kitchen and home market.
I'm sorry. Are you in just the American market?
I am, yes, I am. I've not, another opportunity for someone to go into another market.
Is there any reason why you haven't? You just haven't had time to expand there, or is there a reason you didn't want to look into it?
No, exactly that. It's something I should have done but have not done yet.
One of those should-haves. Totally understand. Are you sourcing your product from an American factory, overseas in China, Mexico? Where is your product actually coming from?
Some of the products are coming from, and the top sellers are coming from America, which is fantastic because it means that I can, kind of ship on demand. I don't have to buy a boatload. And
Oh, that is a great advantage, actually.
yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And then I do have some products from China. And I do have some products that I've tested that, also from China. So, I have both basically.
Do you have a few different like backup suppliers for all your products, or are you mainly just dealing with one supplier?
With the suppliers that I use for the American market, I've developed, obviously over this last year and a half, then, they like me and I like them. So I have not had to look elsewhere. They've been very reliable. I've placed an order. The order has gone out. They've shipped for me to Amazon on a timely basis. I've not had to. One of the products that I have, which is a great seller, could potentially be sourced at a lower cost by somebody. But again, that's another thing that I've, not had time to kind of do.
Yeah, understandable. Is in your products that are shipping from China, are you shipping those by sea or are you focusing
See,
more on air? Sea? Okay, cool. Do you have any kind of standard operating procedure when it comes to your methodology of when you reorder? Like, do you look at seasonal trends, something along those lines, or are you more just like let it ride, go more by instinct?
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to actually somebody out there designing some software that would take your seasonal trends and do a prediction on inventory, because I am doing it manually. So I'm looking at, the figures that have sold the last couple of months, and then I'm comparing it to what sold last year. Because obviously you have lifts in the year, such as Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, just other seasonal stuff. So I'm looking at that, but it's, I do it manually.
That's a great business idea for whoever's listening to the seller interview, along
Yeah,
with buying your
it
business,
is.
of course.
Because I use Managed by Stats. They don't do it yet, but it would be a good one to do.
Absolutely. Let's just pretend for a moment that you're going to keep this business and you wanted to grow it. What would you focus on the least risky path to grow this business?
Well, two things. I mean, one is I've got some product opportunities that I would definitely, be testing and launching. And I would also look at these other Amazon markets as well.
On the flip side here, let's say you wanted to grow the business as quickly as humanly possible. You just kind of threw risk to the wind. What would you do to grow the business as quickly as possible?
Well, if I'm throwing risk to the wind, then I would be, just going all out and testing, 100 products to find those princes among the frogs. And that's what I would do. Because of the American market, I still believe, rightly or wrongly, is the biggest market for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's probably the biggest market and probably one of the most prosperous markets. I did just find out that China, Amazon FBA in China just opened, which is kind of intriguing. I didn't know Amazon was in China. But yeah, apparently that market's opening up now in some channel. So that might be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great answer. I really like the idea of testing through products, especially if you're going through an American factory where you can just get like 20 products real quick up there. It's not a bad strategy at all. When it does come to risk, what do you think the biggest risk is to a business like this that a buyer should be aware of?
I don't know. I think potentially people coming in and competing with my products, but some of my products are difficult to compete with exactly. So I suppose a product coming in that would be better than my product. Obviously hard to imagine, Greg, but
Impossible.
but probably possible. Yeah.
I could definitely see that as a risk. Obviously, there's always the elephant in the room that the majority of the sales are built off Amazon's platform, right? Which is their platform, not yours or the new owners.
Yes.
So that's always something to think about. But if you have a good brand, focus a little bit on getting off the Amazon FBA platform, just enough to where you have like customers coming through your normal store as well, your like e-commerce store or something along those lines. Good way to mitigate that risk.
I agree. And that's why, I set up a website, and that's why, I have 200 emails. And again, something else that I could be doing is Managed by Stats Officer program to, look at the emails from your customers on Amazon, to approach them more directly. And I've not even done that yet. So that's another opportunity, so that when you're launching a new product that you're going out to thousands of people.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's definitely an opportunity for a new buyer to look at. When it comes to what you're doing right now, I know you're pretty busy with your other projects as well. So what are you doing right now on a weekly or maybe a monthly basis to maintain this business?
So basically, all I'm doing is making sure the stock is in stock. I am, responding to the odd customer email that comes through. That's basically what I would do on a, average basis per week.
Okay, so just checking stock, answering customer emails, stuff along those lines. For a buyer looking at this business, is there any kind of skill sets you would tell them that they maybe should be familiar with before purchasing this business?
Well, I think that, because I've set up these products, already, and I already have like all the, zillions of keyword possibilities in them, I think it would be easy for someone to come in and take that over, but also to, if they say didn't know what they were doing, they would be able to look at how I've done certain things within the back end of Amazon and, be able to replicate that for other products.
Your advice to them would be on how to replicate products?
Well, I'm just saying, you were saying, like, if somebody was totally new, right? Could they pick up this business? That was your question.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So what I'm saying is, I've set up these products. So as long as they can, answer customer emails and as long as they can, reorder stock, then, those are the two things that I do on a weekly basis. So those are already there. Now, obviously, to look to expand this business, which, as I say, it is more than doubling over last year, they can run with these new products, but they can also add new products. They can do something with the website. They can expand into other Amazon markets, etc.
Absolutely. Not too heavy on the skill sets if you're maintaining it, but obviously more work will be required to grow it for sure. Moving to a few of the wrap-up questions here, would you be willing to commit to a non-compete saying, hey, look, I'm not looking to start the same business after you buy it for me?
Yes, I would.
And how much support would you be willing to offer that buyer?
Well, I don't know what is typical in this instance. I'm certainly happy to help. I know the business obviously really, really well, so I'm certainly happy to help. I don't know what is standard in this procedure.
A lot of the times it's about 30 days of support, maybe 3-4 hours of Skype calls per week, if that. Once these businesses are up and running, typically there's not too much support that's needed. Maybe some guidance on how to grow it, something along those lines. And it sounds like you're pretty open to however much support the person might need, within reason, of course. Always have to put that caveat there in our recorded audio, within reason. I always imagine the seller who says, I give as much support as they need, and the buyer calling them 10 hours a day. Hey, you promised. That's good. And now, obviously, the best case scenario here for you and for Empire Flippers is someone comes in here and they buy your business for full list price, no questions asked. But would you at all be open to a split or an earn out where they say, I'll give you 80% up front and I'll give you the remaining 20% after we hit this certain training goal or after a month earn out or something along those lines?
No, my preference is not to do that. My preference is, just to sell it.
Okay. So you were looking for as close to full list price up front as possible, no earn outs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Before I ask you my final question, my hot seat question, if you will, no pressure, just to give a quick summary for everyone out there listening in on our YouTube channel or on our actual marketplace listing page here. A quick summary of the business is built in October 2015, has a monthly revenue of $12,063, with expenses sitting at $8,014 for a net profit of $4,049. That is over a 6-month average, and included in the sales the domain, hosting, social media, and the actual Amazon transfer along with the email list. How big did you say the email list was?
It's about 200 emails.
About 200 emails. So that's definitely an opportunity there for a new buyer to come in and grow. So my final question for you, Janet, is what is your best pitch in 30 seconds or less on why someone should purchase this business?
Wow, Greg, thanks for putting me on the spot.
You're welcome. I gave you a warning.
About 2 minutes ago. Yeah. So, I'm in a very popular category. There's a lot of people who are very passionate about this category. My products have top and first page rankings. I have steady sales through the year. The best months are November, December for sure. And as I've already mentioned, we've already doubled what we've done in the first 3 months from this year over last year. So it's definitely, going up that chart in a, good fashion.
Yeah.
How was that?
That's a great answer. It is a very popular item. The potential buyer will definitely realize that once they know what it is. Definitely a popular niche. So with that said, for those out there, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want more information, the link will be below this video that would take you to the actual marketplace listing. Now, if you're on the actual listing page and you want more information, you can become a depositor today. It's super easy. All you have to do is click the button, make a deposit. You'll be given everything you need to review this business. So Jenna, thank you so much for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, you're very welcome. It was a pleasure to chat to you, Greg.